Episode 4. Will America Collapse? Walking China's Heavy Road. In the first 3 episodes of this series, we have traveled through layers of America and layers of ourselves. We saw the 3 Americas stacked together, the imperial platform still absurdly strong, the communal layer quietly decaying, the disposable layer expanding in the shadows. We traced the deep Chinese instinct that the state must answer for ordinary people, an instinct carved into our civilization by thousands of years of dynastic cycles, by the bone-deep knowledge that a regime that abandons its bottom will eventually be buried by it. And we stood before the American screening machine, seducing the world's strongest, discarding the weak, a cyberpunk reality of high technology and low life. Now we must ask the final and most uncomfortable question, not just for America, but for ourselves. Will America collapse? Welcome to the final episode of the America Mirror. I'm your host. This is episode 4. Will America collapse? Walking China's Heavy Road. Let's start with the question that floats through Chinese social media, through dinner table conversations, through the quiet hopes and fears of a rising power watching a declining one. Will America collapse? And if so, when? The Chinese imagination of collapse is very specific. We know the script by heart. It is the script of dynastic collapse. The treasury empties, taxes crush the people, famine spreads, refugees begin to wander, local warlords rise, the center loses control, peasant armies gather, the mandate of heaven is revoked, and a new dynasty rises from the ashes. We have seen this movie so many times in our own history that we assume it is the only way great powers die. But America is not a Chinese dynasty. And this is the mistake we make when we try to fit America into our historical categories. The American bottom is profoundly atomized. America's poor do not easily form refugee armies. America has more guns than people, but guns are not revolution. Organization is revolution. And the American underclass has been systematically fragmented by identity politics, by racial division, by geography, by the dispersal of suffering we talked about in the second episode. America has anger, oceans of it. But anger does not equal revolution. America has class division, savage and deepening. But that division itself prevents the poor from uniting. America has two-party conflict, bitter and endless. But that conflict absorbs real systemic contradictions into the election game, into the spectacle, into the catharsis of voting every 4 years and feeling like you have done something. So will America die the way a dynasty dies? No, that is not its fate. Its fate is stranger, and in some ways more terrifying. America will not collapse in a single, dramatic event. It will sink, slowly, unevenly, almost imperceptibly. The way a great ship takes on water not through one gaping hole, but through 1,000 tiny leaks. Society will sink. Public systems will sink. Infrastructure will continue to crumble. The bottom's life will grow harsher. Political consensus will dissolve further into rage and performance. But the top will remain. Technology will keep advancing. Finance will keep churning. The dollar will maintain its global position far longer than anyone expects. The military will keep projecting power. The elite universities will keep attracting the world's best minds. Picture a building. The ground floor is on fire. The middle floors are leaking. Half the elevators are broken. There are homeless people in the basement. People are doing drugs in the stairwells. The property management is blaming each other and nothing gets fixed. And yet, on the top floor, in the conference rooms with the panoramic views, people are still trading global assets. Still making deals that move billions, still running an empire. That building is America. It does not need the bottom to be happy to keep the top functioning. It relies on the top's continued capture of global resources. As long as the capital flows, as long as the talent arrives, as long as the dollar holds, the building stands. So America's end, if we can call it that, will not be national death. It will be Latin Americanization, platformization. The national shell remains. The name remains. The military remains. The big companies and the top universities remain. But the communal bond between ordinary people and the nation grows thinner and thinner until America is still called America, but it is no longer the country many imagine. And this is where the mirror turns, sharply, back toward us. Because the real question of this series has never been, what is happening to America? The real question is, what road is China walking? And can we avoid becoming what we see in the mirror? China's path is extraordinarily difficult. Let me be honest about what we are trying to do. We are trying to organize 1.4 billion people into modernity without crushing them into mere parts. We are trying to develop markets without letting capital devour society. We are trying to unleash innovation without throwing the losers into the dark. We are trying to balance efficiency with a safety net, competition with community, national strength with the well-being of ordinary people. This road is so hard that few major countries in human history have ever truly walked it. America chose winner takes all, and the losers disappear into the shadows. India chose fragmented coexistence, and suffering is explained away through the cosmic order. Europe chose a high welfare, small-scale community, but at a scale that does not compare to what China faces. China faces the modernization of 1.4 billion people. This is not an ordinary national problem. It is a civilizational level challenge. No one has done this before at this scale. There is no manual. And here I must say something uncomfortable. It is very easy, after a series like this, to walk away feeling a cheap sense of triumph. America is cold and cruel. China cares about its people. We are better. That would be the most dangerous possible takeaway. Because the same disposable logic we condemn in America is growing inside China. Right now, the 35-year-old crisis, the platform algorithms that treat workers as replaceable parts, the in-house competition that burns out a generation, the quiet, creeping sense that if you fall behind, it is your fault, your failure, your shame. The market logic that whispers, some people are just not valuable enough. This logic is not American. It is a property of modern capitalism, of high-pressure development, of performance systems that reduce human beings to metrics. And it is in our house too. What makes China different is not that we are immune to this disease. We are not. What makes us different is that our civilizational antibodies are stronger. The historical tradition, the political ethics, the national narrative, they do not permit us to openly declare that people are consumables. That word, the people, it still matters here. It is still the center of political legitimacy. The state still acknowledges that the improvement of ordinary people's lives is the source of its right to rule. That acknowledgement is a constraint. It is a burden. It is also a gift. Because as long as that word remains at the center, there is room for correction. As long as common prosperity, poverty alleviation, rural revitalization, public services, education, healthcare, and social security are seen as the state's responsibility, not charity, not market options, but responsibility, then China still has the resources to pull back the market machine when it goes too far. America's tragedy is that after the capital platform eats people, it can honestly say, that was a free choice. The market decided, and there is no larger ethical framework to appeal to. China's hope is that if the system crushes people, it will still be forced to face a question that echoes from our deepest history. Does this deviate from the people? That question is China's moat. It is not a guarantee, but it is a powerful check. It means the argument is not over. The direction can still be fought for. So what is the mature national pride for Chinese people? It is not the cheap kind, the kind that needs America to fail so we can feel good about ourselves. The mature pride is quieter and heavier. It is the recognition that China is trying to answer a question that America is increasingly abandoning, that India never asked, that Europe only answered at a small scale. The question is this: with so many people, 1.4 billion human beings, how can you not let only the winners live well? How can you build a powerful nation that is not also a cold one? We do not have the full answer yet. The process is messy. There is formalism, bureaucracy, exhaustion, the crushing weight of competition, the loneliness of individuals caught in the machine. There are days when it feels like the market logic is winning, that we are becoming what we fear. But the question is still being asked. The conversation is still alive. The word "the people" has not been hollowed out entirely, and that is no small thing. America is not the final answer for the world's future. It is a dangerous, extreme form that modern capitalism can take. It shows us, with terrifying clarity, that a country can be extremely powerful and extremely cold. A society can be extremely advanced and extremely heartless. A platform can be extremely prosperous while quietly devouring the ordinary people it no longer needs. The mirror of America has shown us many things. It has shown us what happens when a nation becomes a platform. It has shown us the cost of abandoning the communal bond. It has shown us the seduction and the cruelty of a pure screening machine. But most importantly, it has shown us that nation is never just an abstract concept, a flag, a border on a map. In the end, every nation must answer a very simple, very cruel, and very fundamental question. When an ordinary person falls, when they lose their job, their health, their home, their place in the world, do you treat them as one of the people, or as consumable material? The way a nation answers that question, in its policies, in its budgets, in its courts and hospitals and schools and streets, tells you everything you need to know about what that nation truly is. America has made its answer increasingly clear. China is still wrestling with the question. And that wrestling, that refusal to accept the easy answer, that insistence that the bottom cannot simply be thrown away, is not a sign of weakness. It is, in its own difficult and heavy way, a form of civilizational dignity. Thank you for listening to the America Mirror. I hope it has given you not certainty, but better questions. Not cheap pride, but a deeper sense of the weight and the worth of the road we are trying to walk. Until next time.